I'd like to take the time to welcome to Planet Jazz saxophonist extraordinaire, Mindi Abair.
Thank you
How are you?
so much for having me on the show. This is great.
It's a pleasure to have you. Now, I'm going to do a question that will probably sound a little sexist, but I got to throw it out. There aren't a lot of female saxophone players in comparison with, of course, male saxophone players. There are a few, and they're very good, the ones that I know. But do you find yourself kind of breaking ground?
You know, I started playing saxophone when I was 8. You know, it was 4th grade, and I completely grew up as the band geek, and thank goodness no one told me it was odd for a girl to play the saxophone until it was too late. I mean, it was just something I did, and you know, it really wasn't until probably my last year of high school that someone went, well, you know, there aren't a lot of girl sax players. You know, it had never occurred to me.
Well, that's good. So by the time you realized you couldn't do it, it was already done.
It was already done, yeah. I mean, so by that time, yeah, you just kind of follow the same path as the guys. You know, you're in practice rooms and you're living and eating and breathing music. I mean, it's a really fun way to go. It is odd that there aren't that many women, and I always, you know, tell the people in the audiences at my shows, you know, bring your kids and expose your kids to music. And I think that it can change things. You know, one of my friends that I co-wrote a lot with when I first moved to LA, he had a daughter while we were working together, and the daughter would come in, we'd be writing or playing or whatever, and she grew up, you know, and we were friends, and I'd come over and play, and we'd write songs, and she said one day, well, Daddy, saxophone's a girl instrument. I guess a guy came over to play sax one day. That's a girl instrument, and I thought that was the best thing in the entire world.
So you flipped the script.
I'm flipping it.
You flipped the script. You were so good at saxophone, you go, this has to be a woman.
It's a girl instrument.
It's a girl instrument because Mindi plays it, and Mindi rocks, and jazz, and R&Bs, the whole 9 yards.
So, you know, maybe it's just what people tell you growing up or how you grow up. And I definitely grew up in an environment that it was more than okay. It was just very acceptable.
Now, your dad is a musician also,
Yeah.
so he had a heavy influence on you, I would take it.
Yeah, I grew up watching him on stage every night because we were on the road from the time that I was born until the time I was about 5. So, you know, every night I was, you know, growing up in these clubs watching my dad play.
Oh my goodness.
So,
You know what you sound like? Remember the song Rock and Roll Baby? She was born in the theater, Bluefield, West Virginia.
That's my song, I guess, huh?
You should do
I
that
didn't think
song,
about
Rock
that.
and Roll
Maybe
Baby.
I should.
Yeah.
That was me.
That was you.
You know, but I think that somehow it gives you a certain kind of intrinsic knowledge of what you want to sound like or what you think music is. And, you know, to this day, I just had my dad sit in with me for a concert, and it's so wild. I mean, we can play back to back, and, you know, we sound a lot alike. We're not the same player. I don't sound like him, but I mean, there's so many similarities.
Well, I know you're doing the concert Forever for Always for Luther tomorrow, and
Yes.
Brian Culberson's going to be there.
Yes.
Have you played with Brian before?
Yes, Brian and I have been on a lot of the same bills together.
Right.
You know, we'll do festivals together or, you know, do headlining things together. And he's taken his dad on tour
Right.
and he's just made it a part of the show.
Exactly.
So
I just did an interview with him not long ago, and his dad was there, and they did a
great.
funky horn blast. It was just out of this world. It was just so cool to see dad and son on stage together.
I think it's great. And, you know, my dad's a little jealous. He's mentioned Brian's dad a couple times, like, you won't take me on tour? Come on. But I had him on my record.
Yeah, it's a start, Dad. We'll
Yeah,
work it
you
small
know.
and build our way up.
But you know what? I love that camaraderie. I mean, when I was a kid, I don't think he quite knew what to do with me. I was this girly girl, and he didn't quite know how to react or you know, how to talk to me because it was all, you know, dolls or shopping or whatever.
Right.
And he told me when I was in college, he just said, you know, this is the first time in my life that I feel that we have this like total camaraderie, and we've got music to, you know, to just have this between us that we can talk about. And he goes, I know what to say to you now, because we were always very close.
Right.
But I think he just kind of felt like, well, what do I talk to her about?
Well,
and
to
it's
be
music.
honest, dads are like that.
Yeah.
Daughters are like, I just want to be with daddy. Dad's kind of like, what do I say? How do I?
I never knew that.
Yeah, because they look at you and they say, well, you know, the way I am is going to influence the type of guy she hangs out with, the whole
Right.
9 yards. So
I better not be a jerk.
Fathers sweat it. They sweat it a lot.
Well,
Now-
I think it's awesome that we can share that now. I took him on stage for my CD release party a month ago, and he was just beaming.
Oh, yeah.
We had a little T-shirt made for him that said, "Hi, I'm Mindy's dad."